Slim Jim Tim. Very engaging conversation. You guys get together and you tell little lies, talk about little rock and roll, little round ball, the whole 9 yards, right?
Hey, this guy likes rock and roll. Yeah, he's a good man. I love the fact that we sat down, we talked, and even on camera, off camera. And I just really find Tim Floyd very interesting. The afternoon started with Coach Floyd and I taking a leisurely walk downtown. I showed him the sights and where I used to live. And then we signed a few autographs. The storm didn't want to brave the elements for too long, so we hopped in the limo and headed for the signature room for lunch. The good folks over at the restaurant let us venture into the kitchen where Chef Nava gave us some cooking tips. I gave him some tips of my own. After making sure everything was in order, Coach and I sat down and talked basketball and his impressions of the season thus far.
I don't think it's really even accurate for me to judge it right now just because of the nature of this season, playing so many games in a short amount of time, because generally you have them more spread out. But all the travel and everything, it couldn't be better. It's first class, as you know, with the team playing. And the Ritz in New York was a little different from the Ramada Inn in Stillwater, Oklahoma last year, you know. But
that's for sure.
Yeah, they almost treat us too good, as I would say. Yeah.
This team has to find an identity. I don't think it has yet. I don't know
I would agree
where you put it. Even yourself as what you expect. And if there has to be an identity, what would that identity be? What's Tim Floyd's identity?
I would hope that it would be just a nasty, nasty defense.
See, I like that. You know, you get that down? Nasty. I like nasty.
I really would. I mean,
that's it.
You know, guys being accountable for their guys. Right. This is my job. Individually, defensively, but also team concept. Teams that would dive on the floor after loose ball.
Now,
start a break with something happening on the defensive end, and then go down the offensive end and play smart.
What about Tony Kukoc? What is Tony? Your take on Tony? What he's all about?
I'm really pleased. I think he's. I love his skills. I think he's one of the most unique players that I've ever seen in terms of his abilities outside and his ability to handle it. And it's been fun to watch him with this team, not necessarily with our staff, but with this team, because I'd heard the stories about how he was the guy that was driven hard by Michael, by Scotty, by Phil on occasion.
Yeah, he got yelled at a lot. I can tell you that first-hand broadcast.
He's doing a little bit of it himself now, and I think by doing it, he's having to back it up a little bit day in and day out on the court, and I've been pleased with his play.
Well, as we finish up, it was great, wasn't it?
Well, it was outstanding.
But let me ask you, the pro basketball coaching, is it anything like you expected it to be? Or is there any things that maybe you didn't expect? I know the lockout, like I said, it's so strange to talk about these things because this is all new. First time in history has happened, so it makes it difficult to talk about normal things go along with basketball on the pro level.
Well, you know, the difference, as I've seen it right now, is just not having enough time on that practice court, which I've always loved. And it's been really my arena more than any other arena, and have enjoyed that. But we'll look forward to the following year because the season will certainly be different, and there's going to be more time in that area. I'd heard all the horror stories about players, and these guys are, boy, they're prima donnas.
Oh, yeah, they were.
They're going to challenge you.
They
I think that was in your era, though.
Oh, man. I was in practice every day on time. I never missed. Coach, I was so dedicated. It was just, I couldn't understand it. But this is...
But I'm telling you, guys have been great. They really have been. Heard all the stories about arrogance and this and that. They're just guys, great guys.
I'm sure if I knew any arrogant guys.
I think they all went into broadcasting, huh?
I think so. That's a good one, Coach.
Hey, man, that was great.
Had some fun.
Next time around, they'll go to Applebee's. Applebee's, you haven't taken care of us yet.
Some grilled food.
You know what I do like about Tim Floyd?
Well,
ego strength. The guy was willing to come in and defer to a Hamblin, defer to a Tex, without feeling as if he was sacrificing his role as the brand new leader on this basketball team. A lot of guys, for example, Calipari, wouldn't do that if he put a gun to his head.
Well, makeup was a little different. I mean, here's a guys that importance seemed to go through, not in a bad way, through him first. I think Fratello's like that. Also, no disrespect for Doug Collins. I think that's their style. I think the importance seemed to hit these guys first before it filters down into the coaching field. But then again, you're talking most of these guys. I mean, Doug played ball before. Fratello's always been that way under Hubie Brown and his upbringing and style of coaching. And I just think Tim Floyd coming in, handpicked by Jerry Krause, is a different demeanor. Look, this is a whole different setup here. You're talking about the world champions, 6 out of 8 years, all leaving, and here's this man has to come in and coach people he's never even associated with the Bulls before. I think that's why it was very difficult to do this and talk about what's going on. And you try to win to set up basically not having a team that you had in the past to get good lottery picks or draft choices. This is a strange way to go about things. So I'm just looking at this, and Tim Floyd, I think, had to come in. That's why I told him, you better get some technicals and let these guys know you don't like losing. There's something here. And sure enough, he would admit it, because I know Tim Floyd does not like losing.
We shall return back in a moment.